Hey guys, Angus here. Got another airsoft gun review for you guys today. Today's review is going to be of a gun from my personal collection. This is my Tokyo Marui MP7 A1 Airsoft AEG. Now I've gotten a lot of requests to do the review of this gun since I got it, so I figured go ahead, throw this thing up for you guys as it is right around Christmas time. Be a nice Christmas present to my subscribers. Now first things first, looking to purchase this gun, your best bet is you're going to have to buy it off of a forum used, being that it's Tokyo Marui. Naturally they're pretty hard to find. If you were lucky enough to be able to find it in stock on a store, it's probably going to cost you around $250 to $300 is what you're going to expect, being that this is a Tokyo Marui. However, if you are looking for just an MP7, you know you can't find the TM, you got to settle for something. The wells are always pretty much available, as well as the gas blowback KWA MP7s as well. But that's not what we're focusing on. We're focusing on my Tokyo Marui MP7 A1. Now this is classified both as an AEG as well as an AEP. I consider it more of an AEP just based on the rate of fire, as well as it does take an AEP battery. But there are different sites that will list this as an AEG. Just remember, don't expect the exact performance of, a full-sized AEG as opposed to this, which, as I've stated several times already, is more so of an AEP or electric pistol style gun. Now, being that it's Tokyo Marui, naturally a lot of it's going to be made of plastic, but it's a solid plastic and it has an extremely nice feel to it. The gun's very light. I'd say it weighs maybe 2 or 3 pounds, making this perfect if you wanted a lightweight primary and also perhaps a secondary hanging at your side or on a one-point sling, but you may have to get a little bit of customization for the certain sling mounts on the MP7. Your top rail is composed of metal, as are pretty much all the screws holding the gun together. Your fire selector switch, which is ambidextrous, is composed of metal, as is your trigger. Your outer flash hider here, this is composed of metal. The push button on the foregrip is metal. And the stock itself is composed of metal as well. Pretty much everything else on here is constructed of plastic. Basically, your entire weapon body, as well as its grip, which is also the magazine well. The butt pad on the stock is plastic with a nice rubber coating on it. Foregrip is plastic as well. This side rail is metal. Now, like I said, plastic, but it's a good quality plastic, guys. People often say Tokyo Marui, it's plastic. I wish it was metal. The plastic on these guns is very nice quality, and as I stated, it feels great in your hands. The gun is just a nice feel. MP7s always have had a nice feel to me, and the Tokyo Marui certainly feels great. It does not feel cheap at all, despite the plastic construction. Now internally, you get some pretty solid internals. Naturally, being that it's Tokyo Marui from Japan, you do have that lower FPS spring. This gun shoots around 230 feet per second out of the box, but the main internal component here being a fantastic hop-up unit that allows this gun to really just sling the BBs out there. I can compete with other AEGs when I take this thing out on the field. So really, that's all I wanted to cover zoomed out. Just a quick little overview of the externals. It is plastic, but it's good quality. Got a little bit of metal pieces on here. Now let's go ahead and zoom in. I'm going to show you some of the features and all the different stuff close up, as well as the nice trademarks on the MP7 A1. Alright, so we are now zoomed in on the Tokyo Marui MP7 A1. First thing I want to say real quick, as you can see, you might notice there's a couple things missing. As I stated, your really only chance of finding one of these is to buy it used. I purchased it used, therefore I don't have a few things on here. I do not have the iron sights that would naturally come with the gun, and I also do not have the RAS rail that would normally be on the left side like it is on the right side. But just jumping right into the features here, naturally you would have iron sights up here. I'm sorry I can't really tell you what those are like. I imagine they're just your standard submachine gun iron sights, but you do have a rather long 20mm rail. A lot of people like to put those EOTechs up here, maybe with a magnifier for the EOTech. I imagine that would look rather nice up top. You get a lot of customization option with that. You also do have the side rail on the right side of the gun. You will also have it on the left side of the gun if you were to somehow find this new or find one with the other rail. Again, these rails are composed of metal. They offer the same customization option. If you're lucky enough to find the external battery rig for the MP7, you can mount a PEC box to hold it. Otherwise, you can just use those for the standard flashlight or laser, as this is more so a CQB designed weapon. Now, as we're talking about that external battery rig, let me just explain about the battery. The battery is housed inside the front portion of the weapon. In order to access your battery compartment, there's a small push button located underneath the front sort of handguard in front of the foregrip. You simply push it, and the front little piece of your gun comes off, revealing just, you know, your standard stuff. You have your flash hider here. You can purchase a suppressor adapter for the MP7. Of course, those are a little bit hard to find. Once you remove that front piece, you will reveal a small hollow compartment to house your battery. This gun takes 7.2 volt, 500 milliamp AEP batteries, and that's about it, unless you can find that external battery rig, which will allow you to use different styles of batteries. In order to put the battery in, you simply want to slide it into the front portion like so. Make sure it clicks and locks into place. One thing I've noticed with this Tokyo Marui MP7A1 is that this does not exactly want to connect properly. I need to stuff a small area with paper when I replace this piece in order to push the battery far enough so that it connects and the gun is capable of firing. As you notice, when I replace the front piece, which is as simple as just sliding it back on over the barrel, you'll notice that I don't have any connection. The reason for that, again, being that nothing's stuffed in there to help push the battery. I don't know if that's just on mine or all of them, but that is a little bit of an issue for me, considering I can't just have my gun ready to go. I gotta have a piece of paper in there. Now, moving a little bit backward, we do have your fire selector switch. This is ambidextrous. As you can see, it moves on either side whenever you touch it. You get your standard settings. Up top is safe, trigger can't be pulled. Setting below is semi-automatic. And all the way downward with the many bullets etched onto the side would be full auto. As I stated earlier, the rate of fire is really the biggest con of the MP7, being that this gun fires around the 530 rounds per minute area with that included 7.2 volt 500 milliamp battery. Now, your magazine is housed inside your magazine well. I'm going to flip the gun around here. Your magazine ejection switch is ambidextrous, located on the trigger guard. You simply push it downward like so. If there were a magazine inside the gun, it would eject. The magazine your gun comes with is a 50 round lower capacity magazine. This magazine actually feeds rather well. All of the lower capacity MP7 magazines tend to feed rather well in this gun. I've noticed the 110 round mid-capacity magazines don't exactly work too well. This one works perfectly. You load it up like a standard mid or low cap mag. Just put the BBs through the top. No winding. Simply feed until it runs out. The MP7 magazine does have some nice trades on the bottom, reading Tokyo Marui, Japan, with a large H&K logo on the bottom. You'll get one 50-round magazine with this gun. You do not need to simply use the Tokyo Maruis. You can use the mags or the wells, whichever magazines you want to use, so you don't have to spend $30 per magazine on Tokyo Marui MP7 mags unless you really want to. So the magazine's nice that you have those trades on there. It clicks into place fine. I originally had liked the look of the MP7 with a longer mag, but now that I actually own it, I do prefer it with the tucked-in mag inside the mag well. Like I said, in order to eject, push down, mag will pop out like so. If you have BBs in there, naturally they will fall out. There are a couple of trademarks on the grip. I'm going to zoom in on all the trades in a little bit just so you guys can see them a little bit better. A couple things I also want to focus on, however. Number one would be your foldable foregrip located up front. This is built onto the gun. When you want to fold it, you simply pull down on this piece here, and the foregrip folds up like so. Still is rather comfortable to grip in that position, but if you did want to push it down, pull down here, and the foregrip will release into the grippable position. The foregrip on there makes this gun a lot more comfortable to hold, and it is a rather natural feeling when you're gripping onto it. Naturally, characteristic of the MP7 would be its collapsible stock. In order to collapse the stock from the full position shown here, there'll be a small push upward piece located on the right side of the gun. You simply pull upward and the stock will collapse like so. There are only two options for stock length on the gun, being this completely shortened or the elongated version, which I prefer when in the field to have this stock against my shoulder. The butt pad is a bit loose. As you can see, a little bit of wobble, which is expected, being this gun has been used quite a bit. The butt pad is serrated, nice rubber grip on there, grips onto your shoulder fairly well. And it's nice to have the collapsible stock on there. It's a really comfortable addition to the gun. Last thing I want to talk about very quickly before I zoom in on the trades would be your hop-up unit. In order to access your hop-up, you pull back the bolt like so. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on that for you. And as you can see now that we're zoomed in, there is your gun's hop-up unit. As I mentioned earlier, the Tokyo Marui MP7, basically all Tokyo Marui hop-up units. This one is fantastic. Some of you may be complaining about the lower feet per second of around 230. Trust me, this hop-up unit allows this gun to compete with pretty much all the other AEGs out there. Using .2s with your hop-up adjusted, this gun can easily sling those BBs extremely accurately, up to 120 feet, more than enough to compete with a lot of the other field AEGs, and definitely enough to compete in CQB. Trust me guys, the hop-up unit on this weapon is fantastic. It's a little hard to get your finger in there, but once you do, it's pretty easy to adjust. The charging handle does not snap back automatically. You do have to push it manually with your finger. Also, just to show you some of the other trademarks on the gun, located just in front of the hop-up unit, just in front of the selector switch. Hopefully you can make it out. It is a Tokyo Marui trade on that side of the gun, the right side. Underneath the AEG or AEP, that silver plate, has various numbers on it. I believe it is a serial number for the gun. And on the grips, they are scratched out, but it does say H&K MP7A1 on both sides of the MP7's grips. On the left side of the weapon as well, there is a trademark for the caliber of this weapon as well. Also, bottom of the mag, just to show you in a little bit more detail, Tokyo Marui Japan H&K. So the trades in this gun are rather nice, as well as its hop-up unit. And really guys, that's the Tokyo Marui MP7A1 Airsoft AEG. This is a phenomenal gun. I really like it. Some of you may not like Tokyo Marui. I love Tokyo Marui. Definitely one of my favorite airsoft manufacturers out there. This gun is made in extremely nice quality, nice solid plastic body on it. Yes, it's plastic, but it's a solid good quality with some metal pieces. I love the whole collapsible stock the MP7s have. It's a lot more comfortable to shoot like this. And also, if I wanted to have this hanging at my side, I don't have this permanently extended stock. I can shorten it so that it's pushed right against the weapon, reduce the length of the gun quite a bit. The gun's littered with trademarks, Tokyo Marui, a couple H&K as well. Of course, those are scratched out, and if you do buy it overseas, more than likely they will be scratched out by customs. But they are on there. They're rather nice. The gun has a fantastic hop-up unit, a nice built-in foregrip, an ambidextrous fire selector switch, and customization options with a top rail and side rails. In my case, only one side rail. But this gun is a phenomenal weapon if you're able to find it and be able to pick it up. It's a nice AEP, got a solid range on it, a fantastic hop-up unit, and frankly, I really recommend it. It meets the quota to be in my personal collection. It's a nice gun. This has been Deathcore Airsoft's review of the Tokyo Marui MP7A1. Thanks for watching, guys. Please subscribe.